Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer. I'm the owner here at Make It Sweet, and I am so excited to show you some tips and tricks for decorating our gingerbread family. So we have all different sizes of gingerbread and house and even pets, so a cat and a dog. So I just want to give you some ideas and show you how to work with bags, and then we'll go from there with decorating our cookies. This is not intended for you to follow along with me. Just watch for a minute. It's not going to be very long. Watch for a few minutes, get some ideas, and then you guys start decorating your cookies. So with the icing that we have in the kits for you, it is royal icing. And royal icing, anytime it sets for any couple of minutes, it's going to get a bunch of air bubbles in it, and then it even starts separating as well. So with this, if you want to, you can store it just at room temperature for easily a month. Any longer than that, put it in the fridge for a little bit longer than a month, so like 6 weeks or so. And then any longer than that, you could put it in the freezer and be able to keep it for a while. You just want to make sure, if it was in your fridge or freezer, make sure that you take it out and let it really come to room temperature before you start working with it. So if you can see how it has like lots of air pockets in there. It's not very smooth. It's not going to look like very pretty icing on our cookies. So just take it out of the container. And you may even see that it has separated a little bit, like you might see some shinier part down at the bottom, totally normal. That's exactly what happens with this icing. But this is the icing that's going to get hard. This is the icing so that we can stack the cookies on top of each other and be able to do different techniques with it. So just have it in your bowl and then just give it a really good stir. And what that's going to do, that's just going to knock out the air pockets from there, smooth out the icing, and you can see even already it is so much smoother. And so this will be beautiful to pipe with onto our cookies. All right, the bags that we have in your kit, these are disposable piping bags. And so just open it up at the top, and you have at least one extra bag in there. If you want to make an extra bag, go for it. And see what I've done? I've just turned inside out about the top 4 to 5 inches of the bag, and that's going to give me a collar. Hold your hand inside the bag, and then just put your hand in and open it up so that it's nice and open. And then take your spatula and just scrape along your bag. So I'm just putting it down in and scraping. Might have to set your bag down to get all of your icing. I don't think you'll need all of it. Wait till you see how much extra icing you have. But just in case, I'd rather have it in the bag than left over in the bowl. Then once it's in the bag, lift up on the sides and push the icing down in. There we go. I want to really kind of get it all the way down in there. And then just for some insurance so that the icing isn't going to come out the wrong end, what I like to do with these bags is to take this, twist it at the top, and then wind it around your fingers, and then you're able to make a knot with it. That's going to make piping so much easier. There we go. All right. So now let me just clear off my icing here and clear off a spot, and let's start decorating. So, you know, gingerbread people, there are so many ways that you can decorate them. So many different things that you can do, and we have different sizes, different things that you can do. I just want to give you some ideas and some tips and tricks and show you how to hold a bag. And then I'm going to let you guys have fun with decorating your gingerbread people and house. Okay, so I'm going to first cut a hole in my bag for the white that I'm using. So you can see when you push the icing down in, it makes it much easier to see how far you can cut your hole. And you want to cut just a little teeny tiny one. Little teeny tiny. I'll say that a bunch of times whenever I cut this. You want it to be just a small one, so that then when you're piping, you just have a small line that's coming out. That way you can get all of the details on your house. Okay, so here we go. So for our gingerbread boy, or I guess this one's the man, right? So I'm gonna give him some eyes, so just straight up and down, and I'm just gonna hold and squeeze. And so notice what I'm doing. I'm holding the bag in whatever hand you write with. And so it's just held where the twist is right between my thumb and my first finger. Let the bag rest in the palm of your hand, and then your squeezing comes from that hand. So I'm a lefty, so it's in my left hand. And then your other hand is your guide hand. This is what helps it move more steadily. So you always want it to be a two-handed operation. So eyes, he needs a mouth, and just don't feel like you have to move very quickly with this. You can move very, very slowly, and that way you have a lot more control with it. So let's cut a little teeny tiny hole in the green. I'm gonna give him some green buttons. There we go, so just some dots. And then I'm just gonna zigzag back and forth. So like that's the end of his shirt, so some rickrack on there. This cookie is a gingerbread cookie, and the recipe is right on our website, so makeitsweet.com, and you can find the recipe right on there. And it is just a really nice, easy gingerbread cookie that that stays fresh for a nice long time, and they're really really great to, and good to eat. All right, let's see what else I need to do for this guy. Maybe he needs a hat and a scarf. So I'm just gonna draw a line across and then bring that down. There we go. I'm gonna give him a hat. So I just drew the line across, and then I'm just gonna zigzag to fill this in. There we go. Let's put some decorations on there. So he has some white dots on here. Make the scarf kind of look like it's almost like a candy cane kind of look on there. And I could put some dots at the bottom of his hat, and maybe one big one at the top. There we go. So he is fully decorated. You could always fill in, if you want to, fill in the clothes all the way, but that's really not kind of very traditional on a gingerbread cookie. Most of the time it's just like ideas of clothing and things that are on there. So for our gingerbread girl, oh my gosh, when we were cutting these out, I want to show you something because I think this is really funny. So this way she looks like a girl, right? So you have head, hair, here's her skirt, but look, if I turn it upside down, you could decorate this if you wanted to, like a what? A reindeer head, right? So antlers, ears, face right here. It would be so cute. So this one doubles as two. And the little girl over here does the same thing. So this would be the little baby reindeer head, and this one's the mama reindeer head. All right, but I'm gonna go like a gingerbread girl. So we're gonna put some eyes on her. So you could just do eyes where you're just doing like half circles. I'm gonna give her a smile. There we go. She's gonna have a little skirt on. So I'm gonna start, like this will be the waistband, and then I'm just gonna draw lines up and down. So I'm just making little loops. There we go. And then here we go. I can put some dots on here, fancy it up. All right, I think she's good to go. And then the fun one to do is going to be your house, because there's so many things that you can do with that. If you want to draw a doorway in and fill it in, a lot of it is going to come down to dots and lines and fill in. So let me show you all of that. So lines are going to be things like if you want to outline the whole part of your house, just move nice and slowly. Don't feel like you have to go really fast with this. It's just a slow motion. There we go. And then I can, so that's my lines. Let's talk about lines and fill in. So let's say a door. There we go. And so I have the outline of it, and now all I'm going to do is just zigzag back and forth and just slowly again to fill this in. All right. Got to have a doorknob, so that's a dot. I'm just going to put a dot right here, but I'm also going to come in and I'm going to put some windows in. And I'm just going to zigzag to fill them in. You could break out some candies and put some candies on here if you wanted to decorate it like a gingerbread house. You also have some sprinkles that you can use, so you could do that kind of thing. And you have some snowflakes that you can use. So you have all kinds of stuff that you could use on top of here. I'm going to outline around my chimney. Go ahead and make some lines in here for some brick. And I'm going to make a candy cane heart in here. So see how that would look like a candy cane, right? So here's the other side of the candy cane. And now I'm just going to put some red stripes on top of this. Here we go. I'm going to alternate with some lights along the house. So just some white dots. So when you're making the dots, you want to squeeze, stop squeezing, and pull away. If you're still pulling away while you are still squeezing, then you end up with a big point on your dot, which isn't bad because you can always come back after it dries a little bit. You can come back and dry it and press it down after it has dried. There we go. Just alternating my colors. I think that's the fun part, right? Isn't it, for cookie decorating? Always the fun part is kind of the more icing that you can put on, the more fun it is, especially with cookies like this. All right, let's see. I think I want to add a little bow on the door here. So just a little sideways 8. And then some tails coming down. I'm going to put a little bit of greenery, so let's say it's like a little window box at the bottom. So just a zigzag of green. And then I'll put some little red dots in there. And I think this house is done. I don't think I need to add anything else. So there we go. The whole idea is that you have so much that you can do. So dots, lines, fill in, and then so many other things that you can work with this. And then think of sprinkles. Let me show you one thing. I'm going to show you with the cat. My cat is going to be a sprinkle cat. So you could pour this out onto a little plate or something so that you could dip this in. But my cat's small enough that it will fit right in here. So I'm going to put my icing on as my glue. And so I'm just going to zigzag back and forth. This cookie is so small I have to hold it while I'm icing it. Otherwise it just goes all over the place. And notice I don't even have to worry about it being totally perfectly filled in. All right, now I'm gonna dip this in, get my sprinkles on top, and I have a sprinkle kitty. This would be exactly how I would want a cat. I love sprinkles and I love cats, so this is like the perfect one for me. All right, so if you want to, for your larger ones or for any of your other pieces, let's say if you wanted to outline your gingerbread house roof or something with sprinkles, you would go ahead and pour these out onto that plate and then be able to dip. As soon as you put the icing on, you need to be ready to dip because the icing's gonna dry pretty quickly and then it won't stick. The snowflakes are really fun. You could use them as buttons for your gingerbread people. So see, it's almost dry, but I can use that on top of my gingerbread boy here and add that as my buttons on there, and just so many fun things that you can do. So I am excited for you guys to be able to decorate your cookies, to have fun with them, and then eat them. So take pictures of them and eat them. Don't try to save them once they're decorated, unless you're saving them for something special. Go ahead and eat them and enjoy them. So thank you so much for joining us again. My name is Jennifer. I'm here at Make It Sweet. We teach all different kinds of classes, and so happy to be able to provide these kits and be able to show you some ideas for decorating gingerbread people and gingerbread family. Thanks for joining us. Have fun decorating.